Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the next topic of the chapter 3. That topic is oxidation and reduction, that is the oxidation reactions or reductions reaction. Okay, what is meant by oxidation reaction and what is the reduction reaction, that one we have to discuss here. Okay, observe these chemical reactions. When the magnesium combined with oxygen, we got the magnesium oxide. When carbon combined with oxygen, we got the carbon dioxide gas. Okay. In both these reactions, you can see that the reactant are combined with oxygens and the product is formed with the oxygens. Means here the reactant oxygen is combined. Okay. Means here the gain of oxygen. In the next two reactions, magnesium hydroxide, magnesium hydride, here this hydrogen is goes away, means losing this reactant magnesium plus hydrogen. Okay, in these reactions both are separated. In this methane CH3 here is also hydrogen bond is removed, means loss of hydrogen. In the first two reactions there is a gain of oxygen, and the next two reactions there is a loss of hydrogen. Okay, means from this one you can say that a chemical reaction in which a reactant loss of oxygen, gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen. ठीक है, ऑक्सीजन गेन करने और लॉस ऑफ हायड्रोजन देणे म्हणजे तिथनं रिएक्टंट पासून दूर जाणे, that type of reactions is called as a oxidation reactions. Okay, means these two are the reaction, these two reactions is called as a oxidation reaction. Oxidation means that is the oxidation reactions. Okay, got it? What is the oxidation? Means gain of oxygen. Means जो reactant है, जो the reactant which gain the oxygen or the reactant which lost the hydrogen, that is called the oxidations. Okay. See the next chemical reaction. CH3OH means ethyl alcohol. When this ethyl alcohol for the chemical reaction in the presence of K2Cr2O7 H2SO4, we get the acetic acid CH3COOH. You can see in the reactant there is only one oxygen, but in the product there are two oxygens. Means from which this oxygen came, from which this oxygen is available. So here the reaction in which the chemical substance which available the oxygens to perform the chemical reaction, that is the oxidation reaction, that type of substance is called as a oxidizing agent. Means a substance which available the oxygen for the oxidation is called as a oxidizing agent. In these reactions K2Cr2O7 H2SO4, this is the oxidizing agent. Chemical substance which bring about an oxidation reaction by making oxygen available. ठीक आहे, इथे कोणा या ऑक्सिजन सोबत या हा जो आहे इथिल अल्कोहोल त्याच्यासोबत कोणताही ऑक्सिजन कंबाईन होत नाही, म्हणजे कंबाईन व्हायला नाहीये, परंतु या जो कॅटलिस्ट आहे किंवा एजंट आहे या एजंट पासून तो अवेलेबल होतो, and therefore that agent is called as a oxidizing agent, and this reaction is called as a oxidation reactions. Which are the oxidizing agent? The oxidizing agents are K2Cr2O7 H2SO4, KMnO4 H2SO4, H2. These are the chemical oxidizing agent, means oxidant. This H2O2, this is also oxidant, but it is a mild oxidant. Nascent oxygen, this form of oxygen is called as a nascent oxygen. This is also a chemical oxidant. Okay, this is also chemical oxidant. By this chemical oxidant, the chemical reactions are easily performed by availing the oxygen. Okay, for the oxidation reactions. Okay, this is all about the oxidation reactions. Again, you can see the next reaction, this ferrous. Ferrous have two positive electrons. Okay, but when the ferrous loss one electron, what will happen? The number of positive charge goes on increasing, and therefore it will be Fe3, that is ferric. This is the ferrous ions and this is the ferric ions. When the ferrous ions lost one electron from the ferric ions, what will happen? Means here the ions are lost. It means that when the reactant a loss of ions is called as also a oxidation. Oxidation means losing one or more electrons. One or more electrons when we lose, this is also called as a oxidation. Okay, oxidation means gain oxygen or loss of hydrogen to form the product, or secondly you can say that it is the losing one or more electron, that is called the oxidations. Okay, so you must remember all these things. What is the oxidation reaction, their example, oxidizing agent means what, and second definition of oxidations. Okay, now we discuss about the next reactions, that is the reduction reactions. It is exactly opposite to the oxidation reactions. Okay, in the oxidation reactions there is a gain of oxygen and loss of hydrogen. In just opposite, here there loss of hydrogen. Okay, here loss of oxygen and gain the hydrogen. A chemical reaction in which a reactant gain hydrogen or loss oxygen to form the product. Okay, when form the product by gaining the hydrogen or losing the oxygen, that type of chemical reaction is called as a reduction reaction. Okay, you can see this example, carbon plus hydrogen will form a methane CH4. Here the hydrogen are combined, that is gaining the hydrogen atoms. In second example, H2Cl2 form twice HCl. Here is also gaining the hydrogen, these two are combining, and in this product they are gain the hydrogen. In the next reaction, HGO, that is mercury plus oxygen. Here the reactant losing their oxygen. Losing their oxygen means loss of oxygen. Here in this reaction, when the hydrogen is gained or oxygen is lost, that type of chemical reactions is called as a reduction reactions. Okay, you know that a chemical reaction in which the reactant gain hydrogen or loss oxygen to form the product is called as a reduction reactions. When you have to write down the difference between these two, so you can write down the definitions, example. Okay, and here you can see that reduction means gaining one or more electrons. Reduction means what? Gaining one or more electrons. In the oxidation, their electrons are lost, but in reductions the electrons are gained. Okay, the electrons are gained, that is the reductions. Okay, last one, you can see this reaction, copper oxide and hydrogen when combined together react with each other from the copper and water. What will happen here? This copper oxide, when the copper oxide in the reactant side, in the product side, it will loses the oxygen. Okay, this copper oxide toward the product side loses the oxygen, it's losing the oxygen. Which type of reaction it is? It is a reduction reactions. And second reactant, you can say hydrogen, and toward the product side it will gaining the oxygen. Okay, here hydrogen is gaining the hydrogen from the copper oxide. Okay, here hydrogen is gaining the oxygen, and therefore gaining the oxygen means oxidations. In this reaction both oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously. A reaction in which both oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously, this type of chemical reaction is called as a redox reactions. Okay, you must remember it is called the redox reaction. Generally in the board examination you have to write down the definition of redox reaction and one example. In this example, sometimes you have to mark the process of oxidation and reductions. Here copper oxide and copper losing oxygen, and therefore it is a reductions. Hydrogen and here H2O. Okay, here this hydrogen gaining the oxygen, and therefore it is a oxidations. Okay, I think you have to remember this topic, oxidation and reductions and redox reactions. Okay, see you in the next video. Thank you.